What is up, guys? My name is Equation. Welcome back to another FIFA 23 video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I know I've been uploading some career mode videos, but today we're doing something with the World Cup. The FIFA World Cup 2022 is happening right now, as you guys know, and it's what everyone's talking about, you know, in the football world. And so today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit of a World Cup FIFA experiment here. As you can see, we have divided all of these groups into their confederations, as you can see. So we have Tunisia, Ghana, Senegal, and Cameroon. They're all African countries that participate in AFCON. Then we have Group B, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Korea Republic, and Japan, all Asian countries that participate in the same confederation. Then we have Group C. Group C is going to be an interesting one. I know it's not, they're all not from the same confederation. Australia, I believe they compete in the Asian one as well. Qatar being the home nation, and then Serbia, UEFA, and then Morocco, I believe, competes in the African one. But there just wasn't enough groups, enough spots to put them in their own one. So that's going to be the more just kind of represent from each one. We've got an Asia one, home nation one, UEFA, and then an African one. Kind of the more realistic, I guess, group that could possibly happen in real life, you know. Then we have Group D, the CONCACAF. We have USA, Mexico, Canada, and Costa Rica. Then we have Group E, Argentina, Brazil, Ecuador, Uruguay, obviously from the CONMEBOL Confederation. And then we have the UEFA group. So the first group is Group F, England, Wales, Netherlands, and Belgium. Bit of a group of death right there. I separated them, the UEFA ones, based on sort of how they are aligned in on the map, you know, and like geographical. So England, Wales, obviously they're in the UK, they're right close to each other, and the Netherlands and Belgium are relatively pretty much closer to them as well. And then we have Group G, Germany, Croatia, Denmark, and Poland, also other nations that are close to each other. And then our last group, Group H, Portugal, Spain, Switzerland, and France. Another group of death, in my opinion. I think three favorites for the World Cup right in one group. Pretty interesting. Gonna see how it's go. So yeah, this is just an idea that I had, and I think it's pretty interesting. We're gonna see how exactly it's gonna work out. If you look at it, it's pretty much like they're qualifying for the World Cups. If you guys know how they qualify, they have to pretty much make it out of their own confederation. But here we have already the qualified groups, so now they gotta go through another stage of qualifying to make it to the round 16. So essentially we'll have one team, or two teams actually, from each confederation representing that confederation at the in the round of 16, and so on. It's gonna be very interesting. It makes up for good little upsets. There's gonna be a lot of upsets, I'm sure, and it kind of opens up for it's whoever's World Cup at this point. You know, you can win at like I said, Portugal, Spain, and France. That's very interesting group. I want to see how that works out. But yeah, we've got a lot of dark horses now. I think a lot of these teams can compete for it now and have a much better chance. But yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and sim all the way to the final to see who gets to the final and who wins the World Cup in this FIFA 23 experiment. Alrighty, guys, so we are back with the results of the group stages. Very interesting to see what's gonna happen, and let's get to the results. So our group stages. So as we can see here, Group A, we had Cameroon, Senegal, Ghana, and Tunisia. It looks like Cameroon actually manages to top the group, and Senegal will move on in second place there, 6 points and 5 points. Ghana was very close. They had 4 points, just one behind Senegal. Absolutely insane. I didn't expect Cameroon, honestly. I think Ghana were probably the better team on paper, so that's very interesting. And Tunisia, unfortunately, only got 1 point out of the draw. Wow, so already an interesting result from our first group. To our second group, the Asian Confederation countries right here. Iran actually manages to win all three of their games, which is pretty interesting, and Japan moves on in second place with 4 points. Korea only got 1 point, which is pretty interesting to me because I think Korea have a pretty decent squad. Saudi Arabia did manage to get a win, but it was not enough as they lost both of their games and only got 3 points. So Iran and Japan are going to be our two countries that are going to move on to the round of 16. Our Group C is our sort of mismatched group. It looks like Morocco and Australia will be moving on. Morocco tops the group with 7 points, 2 wins and 1 draw, undefeated in the group. And Australia goes on, managed to get 2 wins as well, but lost 1. Who did they lose against? Looks like they lost against Morocco. So Morocco were the better team, and overall it looks like they managed to get through right there, 7 points, and Australia with 6 points. Serbia, I thought Serbia were going to be sort of a dark horse in this group, but they actually did not manage to get that far. Knocked out in the group stages already, only 4 points. And the home nation, Qatar, unfortunately, all 3 of their games, all 3 losses, and they will be unfortunately not moving on to the round of 16. Group D, our CONCACAF group, we have the US, Mexico, Costa Rica, and Canada. It looks like the US and Mexico are going to be moving on. Mexico barely scraping by, and I think it's because they just scored more goals. Yep, it looks like they had 4 points, same with Costa Rica, but they managed to score 2 more goals in Costa Rica, and I believe that's what puts them through to the next group, or to the next stage, which is the round of 16. Costa Rica there, wow. They actually managed to beat Canada, and they managed to draw against the US. So that was an interesting one as well. But Mexico did beat Costa Rica, which is pretty interesting. And Canada managed to get a win as well, but they were not able to go that far. They lost their remaining 2 games, and they are out of the World Cup. Group E, so our biggest upset, Argentina, arguably one of the favorites to win the whole thing, have been knocked out in the group stages. Messi is potentially last World Cup. He is knocked out of the FIFA 2022 World Cup, and he will not be continuing in Qatar. Brazil and Ecuador are actually the 2 teams to go on. Ecuador tied for points with Brazil. They just do not get by because they looks like goal difference. Yeah, goal difference, 0 goal difference. And wow, that was a shock to me, actually. I did not expect that. I expected Argentina to make a good run in this, considering that their group was relatively easier as Ecuador, you know. But Argentina actually managed to lose against them. They lost 3-2 against Ecuador, so it was a close game, but Ecuador just wanted it more. And Uruguay as well, 3 points as well, but they had a -3 goal difference, so they were at the bottom of the group. But wow, what an interesting turnout already. One of our biggest upsets. Now getting to our UEFA groups, let's see if there are some upsets in this one. Group F. And there is another upset, I think. This is another group of death. I think Netherlands and Belgium and England all in one group, but Wales manages to top the group with 6 points. They only lost 1, but they won 2 of their games. And England manages to get by just barely on goal difference. As you see there, they have 4 points. Same with Netherlands. But they have a 1 goal difference as opposed to Netherlands 0. So they will be moving on with Wales. But that is very interesting. Wales, I did not expect them. As you know, in real life, they actually are knocked out already of the group stage. So glad to see they're redeeming themselves, at least in FIFA. All right, Group G. Pretty straightforward, except I would have thought Germany would have been first, but Croatia and Germany go through. I kind of expected Croatia to go through, except Denmark is a pretty good team in FIFA. They're pretty of a dark horse as well, but unfortunately they're not going through the next round. Croatia and Germany, both Croatia 7 points and Germany 6 points. Germany actually did manage to lose against Croatia, so yeah, Croatia had the upper hand there. But Poland tied against Croatia, what makes it a bit interesting there. Poland, unfortunately, going home. They actually managed to get through today to the knockout stages. Unfortunately, they knocked out Mexico, but you know, hopefully Mexico can redeem themselves in this round of 16. But Poland will not be advancing, and neither will Denmark. And for our last group, Group H, our group of death. Let's see. I believe it was Spain, Portugal, France, and Switzerland. Let's see who moves on from this group. I expected at least Spain and France or Portugal, one of those teams at least, to go. And let's see who moves on. Spain and Portugal. Okay. Looks like France actually manages to get bottom of the group. Switzerland made a good run. They had 4 points. They did not go by, unfortunately, because of goal difference is what killed them there. And Spain were able to manage to... looks like they topped the group there with 6 points. And Portugal on second with 4 points, but because of goal difference, they are moving on. And Switzerland actually managed to beat France, which is a pretty big upset in my opinion, as France have a stacked squad, especially on FIFA. Like, I mean, you know, they got, especially a lot of these players are not injured in FIFA, so they're playing with pretty much one of the best squad, like the best squad they can have in FIFA according to the ratings. So that's pretty interesting that France are knocked out, but we have it here, our round of 16. Let's see who we're going to go against each other. So here are our round of 16 fixtures. We have Cameroon versus Japan. we have Morocco versus Mexico. The USA is going against Australia. Iran is going to go against Senegal. And then for our other half is Brazil against England, Croatia versus Portugal, Wales versus Ecuador, and Spain versus Germany. Wow. Some pretty big matchups here. A bunch of teams, a bunch of big names are going to get knocked out here. We got England, Brazil. That's going to be a classic. And then Spain and Germany, they just went against each other in the actual World Cup, and they did tie. So one of them is going to have to go home, though. This is the round of 16 knockout stages. So let's go ahead and sim, and let's see who goes on to the quarterfinals. Alrighty, guys, the round of 16 have been determined, and these are the results. And we're going to take a look at who beat who. So the round of 16 results are, bang. So we have Cameroon beating Japan 2-0. Looks like maybe a comfortable 2-0 win. Morocco defeats Mexico 1-0. We have the US beating Australia 3-2. Senegal actually beats Iran 3-1. That's pretty good. And then one of our classic games, Brazil and England tied 1-1, but after overtime and extra time, they beat them on penalties. Of course, they beat them on penalties. Football is not coming home this time. Brazil would advance to the quarterfinals. Then we have another pretty big upset, in my opinion. Croatia beats Portugal 3-1. I think that's pretty interesting. Although Croatia were runner-ups in 2018, I still think Portugal had a much better squad. So that's interesting to see that they actually lost. And then Wales keeps surprising. They beat Ecuador 2-1. And then Spain get a comfortable 3-0 win against Germany. And unfortunately, Germany are out early again in the World Cup. So there you have it, guys. That is our round of 16 results. Let's go ahead and see who's going to go against who. So here are our quarterfinal results. We have Brazil versus Croatia, Cameroon versus Morocco, Wales against Spain, and then we have Senegal versus the USA. Pretty interesting there. We have 3 African representing teams. We have Cameroon, Morocco, and Senegal, which is pretty interesting. That's pretty cool to see. And then we have 3 UEFA teams, and then we have a CONMEBOL and a CONCACAF team still standing. So that is pretty interesting. So it's going to be interesting. All the Asian teams have been knocked out, though. All of the Asian teams, Japan and Iran, I believe, were the ones, and they both lost their games. Yeah. So they are out, and so did Australia as well. So they are all out. So these are our remaining quarterfinals. It looks like Spain and Brazil are probably the favorites to win this, but I'm hoping for a little upset. I'm kind of rooting for Senegal, even though I would like the US to win. Rooting for Senegal or maybe Wales. You know, I think it would be good for them to go even farther than this, considering they got knocked out of the World Cup already in real life. But we're gonna go ahead and sim the quarterfinals to see who goes on to the semis. Alrighty, guys, so here are the results. So we had some pretty big upsets. Croatia manages to beat Brazil 2-1, and as you can see there, Morocco goes on to move on with 1-0. Senegal, the team I'm rooting for, wins 3-1 against the US. Unfortunately, the US are knocked out, but hey, that's okay. I was hoping the US can make an upset too and make a good run, but they did pretty good. Quarterfinals, that's not bad. And then Spain unfortunately ends Wales' dreams, and they end it 2-1. So here are our semifinals. We have Morocco against Croatia, and we have Senegal against Spain. And it's going to be very interesting to see who goes to the final. Like I said, I'm rooting for an upset. I love the underdog. I'm hoping for a Senegal-Morocco World Cup final, and that will be an all-African representing World Cup final, which would be amazing to see. I don't think that's ever been done, and it's going to be interesting to see. I'm hoping they can do it. We're going to go ahead and sim right here, right in front of you guys, see what the results are. Here we go. Morocco against Croatia. Morocco have been doing pretty good. So have Croatia. Croatia have had some tough teams, and they have beaten every tough team pretty much onto the semifinals. So can they continue this form of run, or will Morocco, the underdogs of this game, upset Croatia? We will see. Here we go. We're going to sim. And the first team to the final is Croatia. Croatia wins it 2-1 against Morocco. As you can see there, Modric actually scores the winner goal just right after the second half started. But Morocco, they put up a good fight. I mean, it was 1-1 for a good amount of time. They actually scored first, but unfortunately not able to go on. They're going to be competing for a third place spot, Morocco. But Croatia, again, for a second consecutive World Cup, are in to the FIFA World Cup final. And now for our next game, Senegal against Spain. I'm looking at the underdogs. The underdogs need to win. Senegal, I need you to win. Come on. Come on. As you can see, the Spain, a lot of red cards. Yellow cards play into a factor. So Spain are going to be pretty reduced to a weaker side. So Senegal are going to feel that. And Mane, he is in this World Cup in FIFA 23. So he has to carry this team on his back and come up big for his country. Hopefully he can do it. Senegal, you need to get to the final. Let's go. Let's go ahead and do it. To go to the World Cup final. It is Spain. Spain manages to win after extra time. Wow. So it looks like they were tied. What was that? They were tied 2-2 after regular time. And then they managed to score 2 in extra time. And Senegal were only managed to get 1, but it was already in the dying minutes. And Spain are back to the World Cup final. Back in 2010, they won it. Can they repeat it again another 8 or 12 years later, actually? 12 years later, they're back in the World Cup final. And they're going to go against a pretty hot Croatia team that are really on fire right now. They been to the World Cup final. They want to redeem themselves. But unfortunately, Senegal are out. I was rooting for them, but unfortunately, they're going to have to compete for a third place spot, which, hey, it's still pretty good, in my opinion. But there we have it. Croatia against Spain and Morocco against Senegal for third place. It's going to be an interesting World Cup final. I think this is a little bit realistic World Cup final we could see. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see who gets third place though. Just going to get out of the way. Senegal are looking to at least get third place. That would be amazing for them in my opinion, I think. So will it be for Morocco as well. But let's see who gets third place. And Senegal do get third place. They are third place in the World Cup FIFA 22, FIFA 23, and the World Cup 2022. Wow, they made an absolutely good run. They had a good amount of obstacles. Let's see who they go against. They had an easier run, I guess. They went against Iran and the US, but still, they made it all the way and they fought very hard. They almost beat a very good Spain team. So props to Senegal. They did really good. So did Morocco. Morocco did beat Mexico and they beat Cameroon, and they barely lost to Croatia. Both teams, round of applause for them because they really did really good. But here we have it. FIFA 23 World Cup final. Spain against Croatia. Both pretty good teams. Croatia, obviously the massive underdog in this game. Spain had a very tough group. They had to go against Portugal, Switzerland, and France. So they've been playing against some really good teams, so they know what it's like to go against really good teams. So have Croatia. They're in a tough group as well, to be fair. But Spain are definitely the favorites here. But Croatia have a really good squad. I mean, they've got a bunch of good players, as you can see there. Spain, the more overall well-rounded team. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and sim this and see who wins it. We're just gonna quick sim it, just to save us some time real quick and see it. But who will be the winner? Let me know in the comments right now below. Who do you think is going to win, Croatia or Spain? Let me know in the comments down below right now and see if your prediction is right. Here we go for the World Cup final, FIFA 23. And it is Spain. Spain wins it again. They win another World Cup in the span of 12 years, the second World Cup in 12 years. And that is pretty good. They actually were down at they went down pretty early, 1-0, but they managed to pick it back up. And Jordi Alba, who'd have thought, Jordi Alba in the 78th minute scores the winning goal for them to win the FIFA 23 World Cup final. And Croatia, unfortunately, are runners-up again. But hey, Croatia should be proud. That's 2 World Cup finals in a row that they've gone to. And I think that's pretty good for them. Just look at some of the ratings here. Jordi Alba had an amazing game, 9.6 rating, man of the match for sure. And looks like Sarabia as well had a goal. Pretty overall average though. It just seems like Croatia were just not in it right now. Kovacic right there, look at that 5.0 rating. Not that great. But there you have it, guys. Spain are your FIFA 23 World Cup champs here in this FIFA 23 experiment. And there you have it. There's the whole table. Pretty interesting. I think it was really anyone's for the taking, but of course FIFA had to give one of the Europe giants the win. But we got to see a lot of teams go and move pretty far in the competition, like Senegal, Morocco, Cameroon, Wales topped their group. A lot of good teams here. And yeah, so there you have it, guys. That is our experiment done. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this experiment. It's a cool idea. I'm going to be doing more of these types. I have some other ideas out there that I'm going to be doing soon in the future. So hopefully you guys stick around. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. If you guys have some ideas you want me to do, I'll be sure and look at them and do them for you guys. So let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.